Julie from the PMFRC, and welcome to this week's Fireside Chat. Today we are going to be talking about deployment and deployment support. This is something that we have talked about on Fireside Chat in the past, but we know that as Garrison Petawawa goes through high readiness, there are people facing deployments and deployments in their future now that maybe weren't thinking about them in September, and maybe that's something that you would have scrolled by a couple of months ago, but now that the deployment is in your future, we just wanted to give you a reminder about some of the services that are available for your family, whether you're getting ready, whether your partner is away, or whether your partner is coming home in a couple of days, couple of hours, couple of weeks. We've got you covered even once they get back and you're working through that readjustment. So stay tuned to find out more. I'm just going to go around and give you a quick introduction of the folks we have joining us. Annie Baudouin is our deployment coordinator. Darby Briggs is our community engagement coordinator. Francesca Alexanian is our deployment support programmer, and Claudia Beswick is our executive director here at the PMFRC. As we go through the conversation, someone may say something that was going to twig you of another thought or another question. Please add those into the comments. We have someone watching that chat. If we get questions throughout the session, we will address it at the end. If you are watching a recorded version of this and you come up with a question as you're watching it, add it to the comments. We will keep track of those comments over the next couple of days, and we'll make sure to get back to you. If you come up with a question or a thought that you are not comfortable sharing in the chat or in the comments, it's something personal to you and your family to do with deployment, please send us a direct message through the Facebook page. We will get back to you and make sure we hook you up with the people that you need to speak with. Also, as we go through, we're going to talk about different programs that you may be able to register for online. Francesca and Annie are going to let you know how you can reach them if you are facing a deployment. We're going to share all those telephone numbers and those email addresses in the comments. So don't worry if you miss them. We'll have you covered. All that will be there. Claudia, we were in the home stretch. We were talking about business resumption. Things were going well, and now we have had a little bit of a change. Do you want to talk about business resumption and what's happening with the PMFRC programs and services considering yesterday's announcements?
Absolutely. So we've had to make a few adjustments based on the stay-at-home measures that were announced yesterday, and I'll outline where the PMFRC is at right now for programs and services. So we continue to be close to the public, but there are essential staff that are in the Northside office answering the phones, responding to emails. We have frontline services that are operational 5 days a week between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Our employment service office in Petawawa is also closed to the public, but they also have a couple of staff in the building doing the same thing, answering the phones and responding to general email inquiries. Our programs are all available virtually, as is the family advocacy coordinator and the counselors, our employment coaches. If you're looking for more information about available jobs, be sure to check out the Employment Services website for those listings. Unfortunately, we've had to stop the morale mail drop-off during this closure period. We're not able to offer any porch pickups at this time either. If you're looking for specific staff, you can reach them through their respective email addresses as they continue to work from home until the shutdown has ended. Staff email addresses are available on our website, but if you don't know who to contact or which department you would need to reach out to, you can call the main reception line and they'll direct you to the right person or to the department that can best support you. The childcare centers are open. However, the before and after school programs remain closed until the schools reopen. And unfortunately, our plan to reopen the Kitty College has been delayed as we just navigate the shutdown and deal with the immediate needs right now. Daycare parents wishing to make payments on their accounts can still do so by calling the main reception line. We have reopened the emergency childcare program for CAF essential workers, and you can connect with the Children's Services Manager if you have any questions or are looking for emergency childcare. This service is available during our operational hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and are for those families who are essential to the CAF operations. We'll continue to keep the families informed by posting our updates on our social media sites as they become available. Things change frequently, so stay tuned and we'll put as much information up as soon as we get it. We're committed to doing everything we can to support the families and clients through the state of emergency. If you can also continue to monitor the website, CAF Connections. Stuff will be up there and you'll get up-to-date information of all the upcoming virtual programs and any updates regarding to reopening plans. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, I think. We're going to do the best we can to support the families. We're open to ideas and suggestions. You have all heard me say before, the feedback links are available. So don't hesitate to reach out and let us know if you have ideas, suggestions, or comments.
So the feedback link is going to be in the comments, and we are also, after the session is done, I'll put up the link directly to the staff contact list on CAF Connection, so it lists everybody in their positions. It's an easy way to find everyone by email, and I will also put up the telephone number and email for Children's Services, so if you want more information about that emergency childcare for CAF essential workers, that'll be easy for you to find. Annie, before we start, we are going to be talking a lot about deployment. We're going to be talking a lot about families. Both of those words mean different things depending on who you're talking to. Just for the sake of clarity, can you sort of go over what the PMFRC means when we're talking about deployment and what the PMFRC means when we talk about families?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me today. I'm glad to be here, and hopefully I can meet you all soon in person or virtually. So for the PMFRC, the definition of deployment is basically anytime your soldier is not sleeping in his bed for 24 hours, a month, 6 months, it doesn't matter to us. We're here to support you. And what that means is deployment overseas, like we're going through right now, but also courses, training. If your partner is an IR, another base, and the family has to stay back and things like that, anything that there's a work-related separation, we just lump it all up under the deployment word. So that's the definition we have. And as for families, for us, a family is whoever the soldier, the member, consider family. So when there's a deployment, there's like the DAG process, as you probably all know that. And there's a nice little form that they need to fill out for us to be able to, for them to give us permission to be able to connect with you and share information and resources and things like that. So on the form, they decide what family is. So they could write a girlfriend, a neighbor, a friend, a parent, a brother or sister, anybody that they would like us to support while they're gone is considered family. So we're not attached to the common law 1 year together kind of rule that the DND has. We're not doing that. So, you know, if whoever you want us to support, that's who we're going to support for you.
And just to follow up on that, if you've got a parent or a loved one that's not in the Petawawa area, how would you support them if they're not going to be nearby?
So when they're not living in the area, they kind of like, especially like IR, like they kind of get like support from both locations, both MFRC. So if a parent is in another province, they definitely can have access to the MFRC closest to them. So when Morale Mail is open, they can drop parcels there, like anything like that. And usually when we get the form, if we see that the family member or the person they want us to support is located outside of Petawawa, we make copies and we send the form to the appropriate MFRC. So they have the information and the proper go ahead to support those families if they reach out to that MFRC.
Thank you. Francesca, welcome. Francesca, as the deployment support programmer, a lot of the emails and a lot of the information that you see when you reach out to those addresses or call that number, you're speaking to Francesca. So if you'd like to put a name to a face, this is it. Francesca, can you talk to us about some of the programs that are planned in the coming weeks? We can have a lot of people facing deployment things coming up, and you've got a lot of cool things planned over the next couple of weeks. Can you sort of give us a rundown of what people can expect?
Absolutely. So first I want to say everything is virtual, and a lot of them are actually videos that we're recording beforehand. So if you do have children or if you work during the day when we're running the program, you'll be able to watch it at a later time and whenever's convenient for you. So we have our Dare to Leap program, and our themes for that this session is deployment journals. So we're going to talk about how to start one, give you some writing prompts for them, and the importance of keeping one if that's something you're interested in. And we're also doing documenting your deployment. And so we're going to talk about taking photographs with your phone and how to edit them on there and really make like a nice keepsake for your deployment. We have emergency preparedness, and our themes for that this session are going to be OPSEC and disaster preparedness. So if you're interested in those and learning a little bit more, we'll have guest speakers to talk a little bit more in detail about them. We have our deployment readiness running in January, and that's where we talk a little bit more about deployment and how to be prepared for it and things that might go wrong during your deployment. And we also talk about deployment walls, and with that you can get the supplies. And we have been in the past done it as a porch pickup, but we are looking at alternatives for that during the lockdown. And making connections. If you want to join us for that, it's the second Tuesday of every month, and each one has a little bit of a different topic, and you can come in and discuss that topic or come in and ask us questions about it. And we'll also be running another parenting through deployment workshop this session. And so if you have questions about that, if you have children, you're welcome to join us there. That one is a recorded video again, so that you can watch at any time, because we understand with kids, your schedule might not be as easy to just kind of jump on in the middle of the day.
I love the idea of tracking your deployment and keeping track of all those things. Our family's done a number of deployments, and when we move, I always find like letters and dribs and drabs in different boxes and think it would be great if all this was organized. I don't actually organize it, but I always think it. So if you can do it ahead of time, it's really putting you ahead of the game. Darby, you are here joining us. Darby's team looks after the Children's Deployment Support Program, and so many families have taken advantage of that over the years. Typically, it's a program that we offer within the schools, but that's not possible in today's climate. Darby, can you talk about the program and how you've changed it in order to still meet those needs, even though we can't be in the schools right now?
Yeah, definitely. Julie, parents have been dealing with a lot of changes and last minute updates with school. And it seems that just as they get the hang of things, the news changes again. We know that this is going to continue to be a stressful year for families, and adding a deployment or work-related separation, it doesn't make it any easier, especially for kids. So making sure we were able to still offer the CDSP program in this sort of new normal environment was really important to our team from the beginning. Yet with all the new protocols and guidelines in place, both for schools and for our own staff, we can't safely return to offering the program in the classrooms. So keeping everyone safe and healthy was definitely at the forefront of making the decision to come out of that school setting and offer the CDSP program 100% virtually. And although it's different, we're really excited about the program that we're able to provide families this year. Families will receive access to pre-recorded videos that parents and children can work through on their own time, a live check-in session each month with our programming staff. Francesca and Lindy are amazing, and we have our second language programmer, Megan, available for families who prefer their communication in French. They will be able to ask questions, talk about their feelings, and we also have a CDSP learning box filled with all of the fun supplies that children will need to work through the sessions and the activities. Now, that being said, we have to put the learning box on hold until we can safely return to contactless porch pickup, but the resources are still available, and they are great resources. We have our special needs and inclusion programmer, second language support programmer, and our child and youth development programmer, who are all involved. So we can really tailor the program to your family's needs. And like I said, that includes support in French for those families who need it. We know
Oh, go ahead.
That's okay. I was just saying, we know it's a big change for families. Kids are missing that social aspect of the program. They're missing their friends, and our staff are missing them too. But the virtual format ensures that everyone has an opportunity to receive these essential tools and supports in the best way that we can. It's a flexible program, allows families to access it on their schedule. No more missed sessions due to snow days or canceled buses. The virtual format allows everybody to participate. And while we're still working on some of the details, there might be the occasional technical glitch. We want families to know that we're still here to be able to support them, so reach out to us.
I like the idea of pre-recorded, because I think every family I know has a different school schedule or a different time when different kids have to be on Zoom. So it doesn't really matter what your school schedule is. You can still sort of work it in, so you don't have to miss the schedule because you have math or something that you have to dial in for. So I think that's a great add-on for families. It makes it a little bit easier to get that going. Francesca and Darby have gone over sort of our regular programs, but deployment's got some other stuff on the go that's sort of outside of that that portfolio. Do you want to talk about some of those things, Annie?
Absolutely. I can just add one more program that we are doing in partnership with the mental health team, and it's called the Delve into Deployment with Certainty. We kind of added this workshop. It's a monthly workshop. We meet every second Thursday of the month. We have an afternoon session and a night session for, to make sure that we can capture as much people as we can. And we partner for specifically because of the pandemic. So, you know, when you're going through deployment, it's hard enough. When you add that in a pandemic and changing rules and regulations every 5 seconds, sometimes it's harder to deal and we need a little bit more support. And we don't necessarily want to add on and see a social worker or things like that. But when you can have access to a conversation with a social worker once a month and clear it up, and people are talking together and supporting each other at the same time, it's kind of neat. So I just wanted to make sure that it was out there as well. But for other resources, we have quite a few that we are pretty proud here at the PMFRC that we put together for you. And our main one is called the Up Family Readiness binder. And in this binder, there's, I think, 10 or 11 different section of information, place to gather your information that, you know, when you are under stress and you can't just find everything, you know, where you put all of the stuff, it's all in one spot. So there's different sections, like a legal section, a health section, a stay connected section. We even have like a pets and deployment section. So we try to help you get ready for the deployment as much as you can. There's like a lot of did you knows, and you know, think about this, like power of attorneys. If you have one from one bank, it doesn't work with another bank. Like all of those little things that we may not think about until they're gone and you're stuck in the problem. Where do I shut the water in my house? How do I close my pool? Like all of those things, we kind of like touch on in the binder. So we do have beautiful hard copies of the binder in both English and French. However, we also have it on a flip book virtually. So right now, since we can't give you one a hard copy, we can definitely give you the link to see it online, and you can print it and fill it out your own. Like it's exactly the same. Another thing that we have is our beautiful deployment dolls. So if you have children and you would like to request a deployment doll, please do so. We have a form on our website where you can just fill out, send it to us. And then when we're ready to put them together and give it to you, we are working really hard on Plan B, trying to figure out a way of giving you supplies and everything you need while port pickup is on hold. So bear with us. We're working on that for sure. Another thing we have, I wanted to discuss is the deployment wall supplies, but you know, Francesca talked to you about a little bit. It's part of our deployment readiness program. But those supplies, and there's like a map, a wall map. We have some clocks. But we also have some nice quotes in vinyl that you can put and decorate your little corner. There's quite a few little things. Again, we have a nice little form that you can fill out and tell us what you want. Those quotes, you can request them either in English or French. So we try to have everyone covered and make it as easy as possible. It's quite a nice activity to do with your children, so I strongly recommend it. We also have a deployment newsletter. So we do a quarterly deployment newsletter with upcoming program, what's happening in the PMFRC just for the deployment side of the house, but also if we have bigger events and things like that, we add that to that. But we add like resources and contact information. Sometimes it's just like, hey, you know, quick recipes, because we all know how, you know, supper can be quite a challenge when you're in between homework and things like that. So all types of things, and if we find like a great article or a good blog we think you would enjoy, we add that to that. So it's just once a quarter, so we don't want to like populate too much your inbox. You know, we're online as much as, you know, we are right now. But once in a while, we may have a spotlight newsletter. So if something that needs to be shared, and let's say there's a deadline or something like that that can't wait for the next one, we may send you a spotlight newsletter, just a small one with just the information that we want to share. Another thing that we put together, we got a donation from, Claudia, help me again.
Commissioners Ottawa.
Commissioners, the commissioners gave us like a great donation to put together some deployment relief for you. So it was kind of like our way to say, hey, we see you. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Trust me. But we see you, and we were here for you. So it's just a nice little surprise. And during porch pickup, we wanted to make sure that, you know, we see you, you see us, so you put a face to a name, and then just checking in with you and see how you're doing. So that again is on Plan B, looking for a way to give that to you. You'll need to register, so all the information will be on our social media and our website and things like that when we're ready to roll those again. And one last thing that I want to discuss with you is the upcoming deployment forum that we'll be offering. It will be on February 2nd. So we did a poll on Facebook to see which time would be best for you all. And the majority asked for a weekly night. So that's what we're going to do, offering a weekly night. So basically this forum, when you register for the forum, you're going to pick between 4 categories of things you would like to talk about. So we have support for partners without children, support for partners with children, some support and resources for children of all ages, and then we have mental performance during a deployment. So we are looking into, you know, your experience, your suggestions, anything like that. We want to know what we're doing well, and we want to know what we're lacking a little bit and how we can help you better. So it's an open forum with open discussion where we really, really do want to hear from you. And hopefully you'll register for that, and I'll see you on February 2nd.
2 things. I'm going to go off the outline a little bit. We are so blessed to have, so fortunate to have people like Commissioners Ottawa who are pitching in and making those donations and really stepping up and saying, what can we do to help support families? Because they know that that families are going through a lot right now. And the other thing, and I think that Claudia may want to say something to back this up as well. Every week we talk about giving feedback, and we talk about the feedback form, and that we share the link to that form where people can give feedback and give suggestions. And the programs that we have are valuable to families because families are telling us what they need. And I think that this forum is such a great opportunity for you guys to tell us. We know about deployment. A lot of us have gone through deployment, but we've never been through deployment during a pandemic. There are so many things that are facing people right now that we couldn't have predicted, that you couldn't have predicted. And we want you to tell us, what are the barriers that you're facing? How can we help you? Do you want to say anything about that, Claudia?
I think you summed it up quite nicely. Someone's at least listening to me. Thank you.
And we understand that there are frustrations, and you know, people are asking for feedback all the time. But if you have things that you want to see, let us know about that. And if you're at the tail end of a deployment and you've already been through, and you've got suggestions of things that would have helped you, that might help the next family, please still sign up. You don't have to have somebody who's away right now. If you have that experience like recently in your brain and you really want to help other families, we would really appreciate you stepping up and giving us that assistance. And Annie loves good ideas and getting those suggestions. So please sign up for that forum. Francesca, you have so many other tricks in your pocket and other suggestions that you give to families when they call you. Do you want to talk about some of those and give people some tips that they're things they can look for?
Absolutely. So first of all, I'd like to mention that we have a Pinterest page at the deployment team, and we are always working on populating this and trying to find things that we think might be helpful for you. And some of it is like quick recipes for when you get to the end of the day and have forgotten to take something out for dinner. And some of it is, blogs that we find that people might find interesting or have useful information. The other one is Esquimalt. Their MFRC has an app, and it is fantastic. The last time my partner was away, I actually used it, and I have to say, like, it was so full of really useful countdowns, and it had a place where you can put like what you want to put in a package to send and that kind of idea. And it's full of resources as well. It's a great one. We always recommend checking out the 5 love languages. There's ones for couples, parents with children, and teens. And it's all about how you like to be loved and how you like to show love to people. And so there is one specifically for deployments, and it's about continuing to speak your love languages during them. So we highly recommend checking that out. We also are working with working on a resource for parents dealing with deployments. So we're going to hopefully have that soon for you and have that out. There's also books like Joey's Mom is Going Away, and you can find that on our website, along with a lot of other resources that I haven't mentioned. But if you check us out there, you'll be able to. And anything else, if you're looking for something specific, you can reach out to us at any time for that.
So in the comments, we've shared a link to our website, and there's a page that's got all of the deployment programs on one page. So if you're looking for information about the dolls, for information about CDSP, all of that is together. So all the things that we've been talking about on one page, you can flip through and find what you need. But if you don't find something that you need, the deployment team is always there. Give them a call, send them an email. They've got things in their back pocket that they might be able to save you some time looking, and they're always happy to share that information and share that advice, and maybe just a pep talk to sort of help you get through and tell you what a good job that you're doing. Claudia, in addition to the deployment support, there are a lot of other departments in the PMFRC that are offering programs that might be helpful to families who are struggling right now. Do you want to talk about some of those?
Sure. There's some of the key services that haven't changed since the shutdown has been ongoing since all of this has started. There's access to the emergency family care assistance or emergency child care. And so if you are dealing with a deployment and you require emergency child care, then follow the process. During working hours, you call us. After hours, you call the duty padre. That is still all accessible. Nothing has changed on that front. What's different with the emergency childcare program that we've reopened now, that is specific to essential employees and for those CAF members that are essential to the operations of whatever training or anything that they're doing. So it's still all there and accessible to the CAF community. Information referral services. So again, we have the information services assistant that sits at the front desk. She's answering the phones. She's responding to general inquiries for any emails that come in. If you're a new family to the area, please connect with us. We can have a virtual session with you to share all the wonderful things that Petawawa has to offer, where you can find information, those sorts of things. And we also offer the Welcome to Petawawa guide, which is in a virtual format located on our website as well. So please check us out. Get connected. I think it's important if you're new to the community, especially now where there's so many things that are in lockdown or closed and families are still moving. So it's important. We have a variety of the adult family youth programs and activities. They're all virtual. There's recordings, even the live sessions are recorded, and you can check them out on our website, on our Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel. So as Francesca said, you watch them when it's convenient for you and your family, whether it's quiet time, whether it's with your family. There's some really good information on there. And we've already done a special needs forum where a lot of those videos are there, and a lot of adult activities and family activities. So please check them out, and it may give you something to do when you need a break from all the other craziness of a regular day. We continue to offer the second language training through the LRDG. It's a great online way to learn either French or English. It's a 12-week course, and there's no cost to the military families. So please reach out to us. It's a great way to, if you're interested in learning something new or just refreshing your English or French, then this is a great way to do it. It's all done virtually. Our special needs programs and activities, they're continuing, as are a variety of children and youth activities. So even though staff are working from home, there's still new things being generated all the time. So stay connected. From the mental health perspective, the team has continued to extend their single session model. So that gives families more flexibility, and Wednesday nights, they go beyond the 8 to 4. So check out with our family advocacy coordinator who can provide more information and set you up with a virtual appointment or with a social worker. All of the mental health team are working on their appointments virtually or by telephone if you're not comfortable doing them virtually. So that's just a few highlights. Oh, and the employment center there, the coaches are also working virtually if you're looking at updating resumes or looking for additional resources on the labor market in the community, then please connect with them. They are working really hard at trying to work with businesses and with clients, all of the clients in their catchment area. So please connect with them. So those just a few highlights. More can be found on the website. And again, like Julie said, if there's something you'd like to see that we haven't done yet, or you would like us to try, if we are able to do it, we will certainly look into it. We're open to suggestions. One of the things I do want to mention is that a lot of the programs that MFRCs across the country are offering are virtual. So you're not just restricted to what's being offered in Petawawa. Check out the national site. You'll see some other programs there. Stay connected. It's a great way to kind of fill some of that time if you're looking for something to do or if you just need that change. Did I forget anything? I think that's pretty much
Not
it.
at all. Claudia talked about the national site, CAF Connection. If you have it set that it comes directly to Petawawa, if you go to the very top bar where it says Petawawa, there's a drop-down menu, so you can change it to national. If you have family members that live in another area, you can also find the PMFRC nearest to them by just going in that drop-down menu. So it's an easy way to refer family or to find those national programs.
Or to do something together, you know. If you have friends in other areas, it's that's one of the advantages, which is so few and far between with this pandemic. But if you have families spread across the country, looking at these videos and doing something together is a great way to break up some of that monotony and get some personal time with friends and family.
So if you are like me and you are running out of things to watch on Netflix, we have more content for you. So we will hook you up. Annie, we've talked about it during some of the other questions, but just sort of like pulling it all together in one. If a family is facing a deployment or they've already been deployed and they're still kind of dealing with that reintegration, how do they get to you and Francesca?
Okay, so one thing I want to say is that you probably didn't notice, but you could connect with us in French if that's easier. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, anything, it doesn't have to be, deployment related, like during, it could be pre-deployment, just getting ready. And we love to have you in pre-deployment mode because there's so much we can give you to set you up for success. So we love to have you there for sure. But during deployment, if there's issues with your kids or, yourself or anything, just, reach out. And then post-deployment as well. So we have a nice group that just came back from an overseas deployment, a few of the overseas deployments. So we know how reintegration can be quite interesting sometimes. So if you need anything, please reach out. So you can reach out via email. It's going to be in the chat box below or the comment box below. I can tell you deployment.pmfrc@belnet.ca. That's our main one. That's easy. That's Francesca's email. But if you want to talk to me, you can find me on the website, or Francesca will just send it back to me. We do that all the time. So anything in French, you don't even look at it, you just send it back to me. So do that. So we are on Facebook a lot. So every Wednesday we have those fireside chat that you have kind of like on the spot information about what's going on and a different topic. So those are great to watch or on replay. But our Facebook page has a continuous, like all the time, what's happening. And I know it can be a lot for a lot of people. Like sometimes we do have a lot, and we are conscious of that. There's a lot. It's just that we want to make sure that everyone is included and taken care of. So children, no children, anything. Website, CAF Connection, everything is on there. We have a great marketing department that keeps everything up to date as much as they can. That's our first bet, I would say, to just go and get either program information or different type of resources, or just to sign up for the newsletter. CAF Connection is the best place for sure. I want to say we have an app as well, so you can find us and download the app. Programs and information and job related things are all on the app as well. So please find us there. Our Instagram is getting better and better every day. So just go there and follow us. It's kind of nice. I feel like an influencer right now. Follow us on our socials everywhere. But yeah, there's a lot of different doors. There's no doors that is a wrong door. If you have a question that is not related to deployments, but you feel comfortable to talk to me or Francesca, please do so. We'll make sure that we help you as much as we can and connect you with the right people. Please reach out. please reach out. Nobody is living in your brain, and we don't know. Don't wait for someone to knock at your door or reach out to you. Do so. And there's a lot of people ready to help.
Thank you. We're going to
Can I just backtrack? I just realized one of the people that we didn't talk about that is ongoing services, the Veteran Family Program. So for the members that are medically releasing, or for family members that are going through that transition, Louise Anderson is the VFP coordinator, and she is doing everything remotely as well. And you can reach out to her through her email address, which I'm sure Julie will provide in the comments. I didn't want to forget about that. So
that's a great point. We have a wealth of experience here. People who are on the call who have been through this, who have been through work-related separations. We're going to do a quick roundtable of advice. I will start off with the advice that I give to every spouse who's facing a deployment. Lower your expectations. You may feel like a failure giving your kids pancakes and cereal for supper. They love it. No one cares if your baseboards aren't clean. No one cares if you haven't vacuumed this week. No one's coming to your house anyway. We're at stay-at-home order. Lower your expectations. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing a great job. You are going to a deployment in a pandemic. You're rocking it. You're doing great. Francesca, what would be your advice to people?
I would say be prepared for something, or maybe everything in your house to break, for your dog to lock you out the house. And that those situations can, on top of a deployment, be a little overwhelming. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help from friends, family, or even us here at the PMFRC.
And make sure those numbers are in your phone, like those contact numbers are in your phone. I have recently been locked out, and trust me, it's better that the numbers are in your phone. Annie.
Yeah, I have a few, but I'm going to keep it simple. So, and that's my advice to you. While you're going through the deployment, keep it simple. You don't have to impress anybody, and give yourself some grace. It's okay. You're going to have your well-deserved deployment meltdown. It's okay. Just don't stay there too long. And if you're stuck there, reach out to us and we're going to help you.
Perfect. Darby?
Oh, my advice would be to don't judge your experience by what you read online. It's easy to fall into that trap of comparing your story to what you see on social media, on Facebook, but don't do it. Everyone's deployment experience is a little bit different, and you are doing great. That would be the best.
I'm going to give you the last word, Claudia.
Pretty much what they've all said. I think my advice is to stay connected, whether it be with us, whether it be with your family, either locally or far away. Stay connected, reach out when you need to reach out to those seasoned spouses, and this is my ask of those seasoned spouses that have dealt with deployments and have various ways of dealing with certain situations. Nobody's deployment is the same. And for a family that's gone through several deployments, you'll know that each deployment is different. You're different stages with the kids, you're in different stages if you don't have kids. And now that you have a pandemic on top of that. So, Annie said it, give yourself permission to have those days if you don't feel like doing anything. That's absolutely okay. And but don't hang out there too long, and please connect with us. We have a lot of resources that can help you. And, if we don't have something for you, then let us know and maybe we can find something. So stay connected. I think that is probably my most important thing that I would want to say to deployed families. And that goes for parents too. They're not all spouses. So as a parent, if you're wondering what the heck is going on with that CAF member, then reach out and we'll fill you in as much as we can as well.
Thank you all for joining us. Next week, we are going to be back and we're going to be talking about mental health. We're going to be talking about the mental health programs that are available locally, but we're also going to be talking about some of the programs that you can access virtually right now through other organizations, because there are a lot of resources out there. And we want to tell you about some programs that you and your family may be able to take advantage of over these times, and let you know about some of the things that you may not have thought about that you might be able to take advantage of. Thank you all for joining us. Like I said, check out the comments. We'll be adding links as we go. If you have a question that is individual or personal, or you don't feel comfortable sharing those comments, reach out to one of us, send us a direct message, and we will make sure to get back to you. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next week.